I thought this consciousness was kind of out there, kind of like next to me, and it permeated me. And then I read Roger Penrose, and he said that this consciousness is between our material state and the quantum world. And then I kind of thought, well, maybe that's where it's at. But no, I don't think so. I think the consciousness does more than permeate us. I think the consciousness kind of envelops us. In other words, we're living in the consciousness. The consciousness just isn't going through me. I'm kind of like, it's like living in a bubble. And I'm living in the consciousness, and the consciousness is going through me and around me and with me. And just the massive amount of, like a whirlwind of this consciousness existing, and I exist in that consciousness. I live in that consciousness. In this material world, this universe, this whole galaxy probably, the consciousness is probably bigger than the Milky Way. Can you imagine that? Bigger than the Milky Way, and yet it's inside of each one of my cells. And we run on this consciousness. Each cell has its own consciousness. That's why when cells divide, they kind of split in half and they go to places. And the cancerous cells, they get worse and they kind of come back and destroy people. Yeah. Here I am trying to figure out where I fit in and what it's really like. What did I experience? Because it was so different than anything I had ever experienced. You know, I thought I was going to go up a white light and there's God, and God meets me, and I kind of go into heaven. But it wasn't like that at all. It was completely different. It was more like Jello, or being absorbed by just something I could never see, but I could feel. I knew the presence of. I knew what it was. I knew how it existed, but I couldn't see it, or I couldn't touch it. But yet I knew. But then again, it was so big that I've thought about it for a long time. And that's why I say to you that I think where I was wrong was the consciousness doesn't permeate us. We permeate the consciousness. We live inside the consciousness.